Hi, good morning traders. Welcome to another session of Market Snapshot, and today we're going to look at an interesting play that we have today later in the afternoon. We're looking at the Canadian CPI, and that will really move the markets. Remember, everyone who's joining in, say hi, good morning. I hope everyone has been having a fruitful session so far, and ideally what you're looking at is how do we get to see opportunities. And this is something that every trader should do. Every time when you wake up in the morning, make sure that you're looking at the economic calendar, get to see what will be the probable fundamentals that will move whatever asset class that you're dealing with, right? So if you're looking at stocks, maybe you want to go to investing.com and get to see what different stocks and maybe some earnings playing out on that particular day, right? So that will help even if you're trading UT100, especially during the New York session where we get to see some of these moves. And then if you're looking at maybe now ideally currencies, if you're looking at precious metals, you're looking at gold, you really want to look at maybe the effect of gold on the USD, right? So and today we have a lot of news playing out, maybe for the USD, the retail sales, but I'm more focused on the CPI because the Canadian CPI, and then maybe we'll have a look at maybe tomorrow the FOMC, where like there's a whole lot of conversation around what the Fed will be doing kesho. So let's have a look at the the economic calendar. So you could ideally go to Forex Factory, you could be looking at investing.com, you could be looking at Forex Factory, you could be looking at trading economics. So all these calendars will give you some data. Unfortunately, at times you'll see some variation in the data in terms of numbers, but then again, this is where like you need to have a look at a stream of websites to see which one is really giving you the ideal. So if you're looking at what you're looking at today, it's the Canadian dollar, and so we are looking at CPI. So we are really interested in this, the trim CPI. So ideally, we can see the data they are giving here is more not updated because last month we had 2.5. So maybe you can have a look at this one. So the previous data was 2.5. That was the inflation in Canada, 2.5%. That was in July, right? So August, we're anticipating that we should have, the consensus is that the numbers should be 2.4%. So ideally, any trader who is looking at these, clearly what traders are expecting is that there's a reduction in inflation. So if there's a reduction in inflation, so the expectation is that we should probably see the BOC, Bank of Canada, cutting interest rates, right? And so this is if we come to this page over here with Canadian indicators data, right, from the Canadian economy, we can see the interest rate was at 4.25. Initially it was 4.5, then we had a 25 basis point reduction. And so if the inflation rate continues going down, then we should probably see a further reduction to maybe 4%, right? Remember, the goal of every central bank is to make sure that there's price stability. And how do they do that? They make sure that they're looking at inflation to make sure that it's within, most of them are looking at 2%. So if you look at the last 2.5%, which is what I've said, there's a discrepancy when you look at maybe Forex Factory, what it's saying. So the last number was 2.5%. So we are looking at 2.4, a reduction of this. So if this reduces, then there's a high chance we could see rate cuts on the Canadian dollar at this point in time. So that tells you that maybe we should see the Canadian dollar weakening moving forward. However, we now need to look at it from now the different asset classes: Canadian dollar versus JPY, Canadian dollar versus the USD, Canadian dollar versus CHF, yeah, and that is what we'll be looking at as we go into our charts later. So it's really important that you have a look at stats. This is a great website where you can have a great outlook on the stats of the of the Canadian economy. You're looking at the growth rate, the previous update, how it was like, and all these unemployment rates. So you have everything in one place, right? So you don't really have to go through different websites to outline where we are at when it comes to the Canadian economy. You have everything here. So that's the Canadian dollar. So tomorrow we also have, we'll be looking at FOMC. We'll be looking at FOMC, but I'll discuss this in tomorrow's session, and we will see what this probable outlook, because some guys are saying there could be a 50 basis point, others are saying 25. So that whole conversation by tomorrow should probably be more clear. And so one other thing that will probably help us in identifying that will be today's also retail sales. Sorry guys, my network is slow. So the USD retail sales at some point in time at 3:30. We should also see how things are in the US, and maybe this could probably give us some good information on how the US economy is performing. Wow, my network is so slow. Okay, so ideally, we'll be looking at these and try and see how we can connect this to the technicals, because ideally the fundamentals will move the market, but technicals are really something that you can't really ignore. So a good trader is someone who combines fundamental analysis and technical analysis, right? So let's go to our charts now with that basic understanding of where we expect the traders are expecting that the inflation will be lower, so we expect a weak Canadian dollar as we go into the New York session. But then again, well, our workers traders is to wait and have the full information. The traders will try to trade before the news, the others will try to trade during the news, and others will be like, you know what, I have to wait, and maybe 30 minutes or even 1 hour later, that's when I can enter the market. So we all have different ways of trading the news. So all in all, just make sure that you have your risk management in play, and also trade management. How are you managing your trades, right? So let's look at our MT5. To see the opportunities as we move forward. This is USD card. So last week we had this analysis on USD card, right? And we were looking at opportunities to short USD card and then go all the way up. So this didn't really get to our entry. So the market continued upwards, and we can see now we've been in a ranging market. There's a whole lot of consolidation for the past, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 5 days. So clearly today we should see a breakout of this noise. So what are the possible moves that we anticipate moving forward? So ideally, I want to go to higher time frames, because that's where I want to see where the market is headed. So that range has been occasioned by this moving average. It's been acting as an area of resistance, pretty strong. But then again, we are quite, based on this Morningstar pattern over here, we are really bullish on USD card. So I still anticipate to see a bullish card as per the analysis last Tuesday. So I really would want to see USD card push to that 636. That will be my outlook on this particular asset, right? So if we remove these analyses, so I want to map out a few candles over here. So let me go to the monthly actually. Yeah, so we've been seeing some bit of resistance. You can see these moving averages presenting some resistance, right? Which has occasioned that accumulation that we've been seeing. So this accumulation has been there actually, if you look at it from higher time frames, right? So we really need to see a breakout of this whole structure over here. So I'm still looking for opportunities to be bullish. So what ideally I would want to see is a bullish push, maybe to this high. There are two highs here I'm interested in seeing. 3704, which is this order block over here. The last bearish order block, the last bullish candle before a major move that led to break of this structure over here, right? So I'm looking at this bullish push that could happen as we go into Canadian CPI. So if you go to H4, there are a few areas that could act as resistance. One will be on this moving average, which could also be the monthly high, right? Yeah. Okay, monthly high is around here, so I would really want to go with the moving average. So we have a few areas that we could probably map out. So if you go to H1, I want to map out yesterday's low as a possible area that could act as an area of support. So I'm looking at this price maybe during news to spike down and then maybe push up. That's what I'm looking at on USD CAD. So I want to now go to H4 to have a clear directional bias. So if I were to look for opportunities on USD CAD, I'll be looking for opportunities to buy USD CAD at that 565 for around 64 pips, or is it 66 pips? Yeah, that push, and maybe we could also see a further push up to 36.67. So that's what I would want to see on USD CAD as we move into the New York session. Yeah, so a push to yesterday's low would be an interesting play on this particular asset because it will give me an opportunity to buy USD CAD at a cheaper price, right? So maybe if I were to, this is more like it, 66. Yeah, something of the sort. So that is what I'll be interested to see on USD CAD as we go into New York session. So a lot of these will play out actually during New York session. We could see a lot of maybe a push down, bearish push, maybe at around 1-2 Kenyan time, and then maybe later we could see some bulls play out. Okay, so let's go to other major currencies, USD CHF. So in our previous analysis last week, we were looking at opportunities to buy USD CHF to this price level, which was acting as a strong resistance. But ideally, what happened the following day, there was a downward push. And then after that, we saw a bullish push to where we had outlined as an area of resistance. And this area seems to have held fort. It was based on the H4, right? So we were looking at last week's high. So this was the area we had mapped out as a possible area of resistance. So you can clearly see how these highs can really act as areas where you look for opportunities in the market. So let's remove this analysis and get to try and understand where the dollar is headed into. Now, remember, tomorrow we have that FOMC, and if you look at the candles over here, it seems like USD seems to be playing out for short positions. Yeah, at least that's what we have on this particular asset. So, if we were to look for opportunities, I would probably would want to see maybe as we go into FOMC, but I'll have a look at this tomorrow. Maybe we could see a bearish push. Right. So if we have those rate cuts, it all depends. If we have a 50 basis cut, then that will be a strong one. So we could see a very bearish dollar. However, if it's 25, then maybe the market has priced that in. So we will probably not see a lot of movements tomorrow. So a lot of volatility in play as we get into FOMC. So I'm still looking at maybe let's go to the daily and see. So we can see a clear short on the daily. So we are still looking for short opportunities on USD CHF ideally. Right. So if you are to look for opportunities, let's short. This remember once again disclaimer. This is purely educational analysis. Maybe we could see some support, a small support, a minor support at around 84.21. That's like 13 pips from now, or is it 12 pips from now? This is because of last week's low. But then again, maybe this will be an opportunity for price to push up and then sell it at a cheaper price to maybe now what we've just seen as a drop to last year's high. Sorry, last year's low. So sorry, I need to go to the weekly. Yeah, so this is what we are looking at, a possible push down on USD CHF. Now, let's go to GBP USD. So once again, we look at our analysis last week. So analysis last week, we were looking for a bullish push. We were trying to sell GBP at a better price and then a drop to 30.13.8. So we can see price came to this price level. This was on Wednesday, and then we can see what happened. This area acted as a strong support, and it's from this price level that we've seen this bullish push from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yesterday, Monday, and today, Tuesday. So what are we looking at? So let's remove this analysis from last week. And go to higher time frames to get a feel of where the market is. So first area I'm looking at as a possible area of resistance is last week's this is the monthly high, right? This is the monthly high. The monthly high means the highest price in the month so far. This was it. And so we are looking at, let's go to daily. If we go to the daily, we are looking at also last month's high, 32.69. And then let's go to the weekly. Remember, our work as traders is to map areas, areas where we think we have opportunities. So if you look at that candle on the weekly, it's quite bullish. So we're still looking at a bullish GBP USD. More importantly, that candle, this is a bearish order block, the last bullish candle before a major drop that led to break of the structure. So that 291 is an area I would want to see GU get to. That 291 is an area I'm really interested in seeing GU get to. So if I were to look for opportunities, one, I'll be looking for bullish opportunities. Let's go to H4. So if you're looking for buy opportunities, then we're looking at current market price, that 212. We want to a push to that 238, and then a further push up to what we've just seen as a possible area on the weekly. Is it on the weekly or the monthly? Yeah. Is an area I would really want to see the market get to. Yeah, so that's GBP USD. And then Euro USD. Euro USD, we are looking for opportunities to go long, just like the cousin GBP USD. So if we were to look for opportunities on this one, I would want to see the high of August, last month's high. So in our previous analysis, we were looking for two areas where we were looking for opportunities to short the market, right? So we had foreseen price drop to this area, 10, 11, and then another drop, but then that didn't play out. So 10, 11 acted as a strong support. And so if let's remove everything actually. So if we go to H4, we've seen an area we are interested in, and this is last month's high, the high of August, right? So just like GU, we should probably be looking at a bullish push. Yeah, 1201. That's an area that I would want to see on Euro USD. This could play out today, but most importantly, I probably foresee this playing out tomorrow during FOMC. But then again, we'll have this session tomorrow and reevaluate. Maybe if price has gotten to 1201 by end of today, then we'll have to reevaluate and see what we expect. So I'm still bullish on Euro USD. Bitcoin, guys, BTC have been bearish for quite some time. I'll not remove these analyses because, uh, like I said earlier, I'm still waiting for BTC to get to this price level, that 2823. So we've seen a major drop that played out. I think this was, when was this? Last week? No, it was the previous week. Huh? And so I'm still looking for those short opportunities on BTC. Until then, I just stay away. Now, if we look at UT100, we were looking for short opportunities, but then again, the market didn't play out as anticipated. So this is where, like, guys, I remember saying you really need to have good trade management, right? So have a system that books your profit along the way. So if you're looking at a trade, if long term you're looking at 50 pips, make sure that you're booking at least at 30 pips and maybe now 50 pips, right? So that you lock in your profits. And once your trade hits 30 pips, make sure that you've moved your stop loss in profit so that you've secured your entry to be a risk-free trade. So when it comes to UT100, let's remove everything. Ideally, I'm looking at buy opportunities. So if we go to higher time frames, ideally, if we're looking at September, let's look at the high of September. Yeah, 19,638. So that's where I would want to look for opportunities. Yeah, so I'm looking for buy opportunities to that price level, which is last week's, no, the monthly high. We've seen it's the monthly high. Yeah, so if we go to the daily, the monthly high, right, which is the highest price in the month of September. So we anticipate price to get there. Could push all the way to last month's high. That's a possibility. For those who trade UT100, you know how volatile it can be. So this is a strong possibility. Could get there even today, tomorrow, especially tomorrow during FOMC. Audi USD. What were we looking at on Audi USD last week? So last week we were looking for short opportunities on Audi USD. So this was Tuesday. On Tuesday we were looking for sell opportunities to here, to this price level, which was 66.27, and we can see price got here and immediately the bulls came into where we are at right now. So this is a whole 100 and to current market 132 pips to where we are currently. So this is something that played out well. So let's remove this analysis from last week. Let's go to higher time frames, try and see where Audi USD is headed to. So I would want to see Audi USD come to this high. That is that 847. I think that's around what, 90, 88 pips from current market price. Yeah, so I'm really bullish on Audi USD, just like the other assets. And this could be as a result of maybe FOMC tomorrow, but then again we'll reevaluate this tomorrow and see how that plays out. So this is the play on Audi USD. I would really want to see that bullish push from the current market price. So if maybe there was a bit of bears coming in, they will just give us an opportunity to buy Audi USD at a cheaper price, right? Yeah, but ideally we are looking at that strong bullish push. Okay, so gold. Gold, I'm so sure. I remember someone asked me the analysis on gold, and I was like, as long as there's geopolitical concern, be buying. So if we go to H1, this was the analysis last week. This was a total flop. Like, we're looking for opportunities to short. Then again, this didn't play out. So we can see what happened after that. Gold once again went all the way. Good thing I had laid out this disclaimer that as long as there's that uncertainty, then maybe the opportunities were more of buys. So let's remove these. So there's a high likelihood that we could see gold hitting higher highs as we head into FOMC. Once again, if we have a 50 basis cut on by the Fed, then we expect the dollar to weaken. And so if the dollar weakens, then we could see gold skyrocket all the way, right? So as it is currently, I don't have a clear outlook on gold, but then just like what you've seen on GBP USD, we expect gold to hit higher highs, maybe 2600. Yeah, there's a possibility we could get to 2600 from current 2582. Now the entries where maybe we could be looking at opportunities, maybe go to H1, try and identify areas we could be looking for opportunities. Maybe today's low, Asian low, a test of this low, and then a continuation of the bullish push to 2600. We've already looked at USD card, and we've said we are looking for opportunities to buy as we get into the CPI later. Yeah, that's it. So that's all on the markets. Not unless, of course, we have questions. There's something maybe I would want to share with us. As most promising pair to trade today, Trapscade. I'll probably go with card pairs, right? Because of the CPI later at 3:30. So look at card, and we've already analyzed. Maybe I remember, once again, disclaimer: this is purely additional analysis. This is the outlook that we probably would want to see on USD card. Maybe a push down, a bearish push to yesterday's low, and then a push up to what we've mapped out as possible market moves. Maybe 36, 31. But we could encounter some resistance, maybe for those who are interested in take profit ones. 36.12. So if USD card drops to 35.66, I would want to see maybe 60 pips, or is it 57 pips to this moving average, and then that will be probably a good take profit. Yeah. There's something else to share with you guys over here. So questions, please, as I share some message that we have for those of us. GJ. Okay, maybe let's go to GJ. So GJ, I think there was an analysis we did last week, Benjamin, but let's see. Let's see what played out. We were looking for bullish pushes and then bearish pushes. Price didn't get here. So remember, I normally want to buy, if let's say if you're looking for sales, I love selling at a higher price, and then buying at a lower price. So I was looking for that bullish push since we know GJ how volatile it can be. But then again, this didn't play out. So if we're looking for opportunities on GJ, let's remove everything over here. So opportunities on GJ, what did GJ do? If we go to H4, we can see what happened. Yeah, came back to test. So what it did, this, I think this was yesterday. Yes. So GJ yesterday came to test last week's low. And then after that, we can see that bullish push. So if I were to look for opportunities on GJ, then I'll probably be looking for bullish opportunities. I'll be looking for bullish opportunities to maybe 187.22. So my take profit one will probably be somewhere around here on that moving average, 186.51. So if maybe I will be looking at these and then a further continuation of the bullish push. At least that is what I can see, Benjamin, on GJ, a bullish push to test the Asian high today and then maybe push all the way up. Yeah, let's look at some of these time frames, lower time frames. Yeah, ideally that makes sense. That bullish push on GJ. There's something else to share with you guys. We've got some news over here, and this is for all of us, for those, especially those who attend our physical classes in the different satellite offices. So let me share these. So maybe some of you have been going to our satellite offices. You've seen this announcement, right? So FX Pesa will discontinue the in-person training sessions that are conducted in the different satellite offices in Kitengela, Nakuru, Eldoret, and Thika from 19th September. That is on Thursday. And so away from that, we'll now be looking at Zoom sessions and YouTube sessions. More of this will be definitely communicated. And ideally, what we've been doing on YouTube, we'll do more of that. Zoom classes, I know some of us who attend Zoom classes. For example, right now as we speak, there's a Zoom class that is ongoing from 11 to 12 p.m. So that is probably something that some of you may be interested in. We also have classes at night for those of us who probably are in their different hustles and, you feel like, I need to learn, need to improve a skill, need to have this trading skill, because remember, trading is a skill. So you have a class Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. So we'll have more road shows across Kenya. One of the road shows that we'll be doing is this one from on Kisumu. Those who are in Kisumu, 10th October, will be coming to Kisumu. 24th October will be in Nairobi. Meru, there has been a lot of requests, guys. If you go back to our market snapshots, guys have been requesting for classes in Meru. So if you're here and you are requesting for classes in Meru, we'll be having this. On 8th November, Bungoma, 22nd November. This is those guys who are interested in the Ajira program. So if you're interested, for those who are in the Ajira program and you feel that you need to have this skill, we are more than ready to come where you are. Mombasa, 6th December, we are coming to to educate the Mombasa residents on how to take advantage of the global financial markets. So basically, in case of anything, kindly reach out to support@fxpesa.com or WhatsApp 0730-676-002. So kindly take note of this. This one has been posted in all the satellite offices. You'll find maybe you will see such printouts in the offices, and most probably also our EPs are announcing this. So yeah, kindly take note of that. Any other question? I remember tomorrow is the big day FOMC. So Euro USD, Emmanuel Kipe, I've just looked at Euro USD and we've done that analysis. We are looking for buy opportunities to 1201. If we were to look, news going high today, so price might see of it. Okay. Can I try and understand your question? If we were to look at news going high today, which kind of news, Benjamin? Are you referring to the retail sales for the USD or the Canadian? Yeah, Philemon Koech, GBP, PPI will be. I'll definitely discuss that tomorrow. We'll definitely go through that tomorrow during market snapshot. Huh? But then again, it will be past. So the one you're interested in is the GBP CPI, right? It's if you look at your calendar, the CPI is the one that is actually the red folder, right? So if I were to look at trading GBP tomorrow, I will be more interested in the inflation, the CPI, rather than the PPI. Yeah, because there won't be so much of a move because ideally the consensus is that it will be 2.2%, right? However, if that changes and the inflation in the UK has dropped to maybe 2.0%, we should see a very weak pound, right? Because the expectation is that we should see further rate cuts. Okay. There's a question I'm looking for. What about gold, sir? Emmanuel, I've also looked at gold. Kindly go through the analysis. And what we were saying is that just like the other assets, gold, we're also looking for buy opportunities on gold. However, we've said that gold, we could see it test today's low or yesterday's low. That is around 2574.67. And then maybe from there we can see some bullish push. There's a question I'm looking for. So I think it was more on, is it the Fed? I think the CME Fed Watch tool. Yeah. So you need to go to SME Fed Watch tool, the website. It's a toolkit basically that is this one. Yeah. Check out rate cuts or it helps market participants basically to predict the future direction of Federal Reserve interest rates moves. Yeah, and it's based on pricing data from the 30-day federal funds futures. So how you get to use it is that basically you'll choose what it is that you look. For example, it works on probability, right? Different levels. So 0% probability, the market doesn't expect the rate to occur. So if you have 100% probability, then the market is fully pricing in the rate levels. So uh, it's good to monitor changes over time. So it's updated regularly, and so as new data comes in, and here you're looking at CPI. But now, since we don't have CPI, we don't have jobs data, then clearly the Fed the SME toolkit is actually fine. So if the tool shows a 90% probability for 25 basis rate hike, then there's and 10% probability for no change, then you can conclude that the markets expect that the Fed to raise interest rates. So it's always good that you look at now that is for rate hike. So if the reverse is true, if you're looking at rate cuts, then 90% probability is that we could see that. So Michael, just go to the website and see how maybe I hope my network is okay. So we'll have a look at that. Let's have a look at that, because this is more of FOMC. Let's have a look at that tomorrow in our session, if that's okay with you. Yeah. But basically, it's a great tool, yeah, to analyze what the possible move is when it comes to the Fed later in the. Is it 9 p.m. Kenyan time? Yeah. Okay. Uh, since we are expecting FOMC rate by 25 basis 50, are we going to sell Euro USD? Martinez, welcome from Zambia. So remember, if you're looking at rate cuts, 25 could be priced in. So we could probably not see, there's a high chance that we will not see a lot of moves. But then again, if we see, let me go back to my screen. If we see, if the basis point is 50, wow, that will be big. So we expect a very weak dollar, a high possibility of a weak dollar. So in that case, it's not sell Euro USD, it will be buy Euro USD. Martinez. Right. So yeah, for 25 basis point, it will be pegged on what the market moves we'll see today, because I foresee a situation where it could be priced in. But remember, when you're trading some of these news, we could see some spike up, spike down, a whole lot of movements that will take out some traders, especially those who don't observe risk management. There's a question I had seen somewhere over here. Martinez, I hope I've answered your question. So if it's 50, then it's not sell but buy, because the dollar will be weak, so the euro will strengthen. Yeah, this is the question. Which is the best way to trade, after news or before news, for the better risk reward ratio? Emmanuel, it all depends on your trading plan. There's no better way than going back to your trading plan. Remember, trading plan is something that you've crafted, right? It's not based on me. It's based on you and whatever it is that you're seeking from the market. So there are guys who will be like, no, I can't trade before because it's more of gambling. I would rather wait for the news to see how it plays out, then trade. But the other guys will be like, I'm trading before because based on my previous experience, I expect the dollar to do this and this and this. And so, yeah, it all depends on your trading plan. That would be my best answer on that. There are guys who will trade during, actually, not even after, during the news, you know, just when they're about to be launched at exactly 3:30, bam, that's when they're taking buy positions. And you can do that with FX Pesa. Okay. Thank you for your questions. I look forward to tomorrow's session. Let's have a look at what will happen as we get into FOMC. But we'll reevaluate whatever we've see, or we've analyzed, especially today's CPI. So gold is most probably coming to the area we have outlined, 25.74. Maybe a test of today's low, then we could see that bullish push as we wait for FOMC tomorrow. Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you for your time.